I think about the First Amendment every day in process because I'm a writer and I'm a speaker and I'm something of a revolutionary, if you will, and so that First Amendment is essential to my well-being, my political well-being, and my personal well-being as well. So it's just always with me. It's part of my psyche, part of my spirit. So it's very significant.
How about in relation to the library and books?
In relation to the library, one thing that I think I've found in my lifetime in the United States is that that libraries and library organizations have really, for the most part and with few exceptions, have really gone to the mat on issues of First Amendment freedoms. So it's not something that I worry about too much because I know that if I do start to worry, if I give libraries a little push, that's all they need is to, but they usually, I've never had to push them because they just seem to be there, and it's not that they show up on these issues every once in a while, but that they're consistent in paying attention to the issues, the legal issues, and to making it clear in the communities in which they're located that this is significant to their, to their operation, their service to the community.
What I always wondered about is who is it that would do the banning? Everybody has their own threshold of what they consider okay or not okay. Basically, I think it might come down to the age. The younger the reader, such as grammar school, grade school, or high school, the younger it is, certainly the schools should have a right to ban through school boards or whatever regulation agencies. They should set what they want to be learned. Later in life, maybe after high school or maybe as an adult, certainly everyone knows the term adult entertainment, and later on the banning should go away. But certainly at the younger ages, starting out in school, kindergarten, any of the schools, some body should have a right to ban. It's always difficult to know who's right and who has the right to say what's okay. And I think that'll be a controversy forever, a subject for discussion forever.
What is your opinion on the First Amendment and the right to read?
The right to read is so basic to my whole self. Any kind of restraint on that would be a terrible loss in my life. I feel very, very strongly about having all my rights. I don't abuse them, but I certainly use them. And that's all I can say, I guess.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Now we're going to... I don't believe any book should be banned. What happens, it's such a basic freedom. It all goes back to somebody is going to have to go through the books and decide what should be banned. And there are all kinds of influences that can, we'd have to decide who would be doing the banning. And
I am very happy about libraries because I cannot afford to buy many books, and I have a 3-year-old daughter that needs to read new books every week, so I come here and I find books for her, and that keeps her entertained. I personally come to the library to do some research. I'm interested in Native American art, and most books are really expensive and I don't have a chance to buy them. So a library is a good resource for my research because I can go and I can see these books that are worth hundreds of dollars. And very rare books like this book I just got is on Indian beadwork, and it cannot even be checked out of the library because it cannot be replaced, but it's priceless. It has so much information, and it's good that I have access to this kind of information for free, because otherwise I couldn't get to it. I studied literature for some time, and I feel that it is important for people to have access to books because books are for everybody, and they have all kinds of information from crafts to cooking to art to soap operas. And also, most libraries that I've been at have pretty good records and tapes and videotapes. So that's a good resource for other kinds of entertainment as well, not just books, but listen to good music or watching a movie once in a while. I feel that books should be accessible to all kinds of people, and that people should make right choices when selecting books. And I feel that it's very important to support public libraries because that's a good medium for providing culture that is accessible to all kinds of families.
I keep rethinking the subject every so often because it seems the climate in America, intellectual, cultural climate, I think, is moved more conservative, probably an influence of the political climate. And I think people who believe in the importance of intellectual freedom and the First Amendment, we need to keep rededicating ourselves to it. We need to keep making noise, basically, about it. And so I think, and libraries are in the forefront. They're the repositories of knowledge, and they can't really kind of rest on their laurels. They have to stay in the forefront, I think, by keep telling people. So the idea of banning books is basically a medieval notion, because that's, you know, that's the, if you study the history of it, you can trace the banned books way back 1,000 years or more, and so some of these notions hang on. You know, they're very stubborn. They hang on. And you know, you can find the history in America. Why are we nervous about books and ideas that we don't agree with? You know, but people who believe in accessibility of ideas and cultural notions, we have to keep fighting, even though it seems kind of irrelevant and silly. You know, it's very important. If we don't fight, then the people who are nervous about it will get stronger.
I feel it's real important to be able to read whatever we want to. I think we each have to learn to use our own judgment about the books that we choose to read, and we need also to be able to judge those books in light of what we see around us and what we know and what we learn, so that we should be able to take something that may not be the best in the world and say to ourselves, that's not the best in the world. So.
I feel it's under the discretion of the person who are reading the books, and I feel that there should be no hearsay about who should read what books, and should be freedom of choice.
Right. How would you feel
Book-
if somebody tried to tell you what to listen to or read?
Not well. I would be concerned about it, that he's taken away my private privileges of reading what I feel like I want to read or listen to, music, certain records I like that he may not like or she may not like. I feel that it's my judgment. It should be available to me if I want it.
Well, I like to be able to get whatever I want. I don't always agree with everything in here, but that's kind of nice, actually, because that way you can get different opinions on things that you wouldn't necessarily have had. There was something on KUFM not too long ago that the first thing that goes down in a dictatorship is the art and the literature, and those are the least accessible to people. And I think it keeps us, keeps access or information available to everybody, and I think that we should be able to have whatever's in here.
So even if it's something you don't agree with, that's all right.
Of course, yeah.
Right.
You've got to be able to have it. It's the only way to form an opinion, I think, is if you have both sides available to you.
Okay. How would you feel if somebody wouldn't let you check out a book?
If they wouldn't let me check
Or
out a
if
book,
a book you wanted wasn't available because someone had complained about it.
I would feel like that person had taken my choice away. If I wanted to read that book, to leave it in the library for me to decide whether to read it.
Well, then how do you...
Well, I have a right to disagree, but I don't have a right to impose my opinion on everyone else.
So,
I believe that the library should contain all sorts of material for all sorts of people. However, I think there should be some limitations. Such things as Playboy magazine, Penthouse magazine, other materials of that nature I don't feel belong in a public library. That's not to say that I'm in favor of censorship. It's just that I believe that if people want to read that kind of material, the public shouldn't provide it for them. As far as novels and books and information of various things, I think the library should be a resource for everybody, for all kinds of subjects.
even if there are subjects you don't agree with, or
Even if there's things I don't agree with, I really believe that what Jefferson said, even though I don't agree with you, I would fight to the death for your right to express your opinion. I like that, and I think that's what we ought to be about. That's what America's about.
I think that the people have the right to have access to any and all kinds of information. I do agree with not having. I think what it is that explicit sexual type magazines that are done in a distasteful manner. I'll say it that way in the library, because there's. I don't think it belongs there. People can get that kind of stuff wherever they, it's all over the place. But in the library, I think that people do have the right to have access to any and all kinds of information, as long as it's, as long as it's legal. I mean, it's stuff that goes along with the Constitution and our rights to freedom of speech and everything like that. I think it's a good thing, and
because I don't think anybody has a right to tell me what I can read.
okay. What about books that we might have that might be something you disagree with, that you don't like?
Well,
I think everybody has the right to their own opinion, and if somebody disagrees with it, they just don't need to read it.
Okay, what in the library?
Yeah, I feel that the freedom to read and the freedom to publish is an absolute right, and that no infringement on that right should ever be made by anyone. I just think that books are just expressions of thought, and it doesn't make any difference whether we agree with it or not. That should not be abridged by anyone.
Well, things that are pornographic in nature usually aren't put on the shelves. I mean, when the buyers for the library order books, they try to order things that they feel that the readers will be interested in. So, since it is public money that's being spent on this, that's the obligation of the person that's doing the buying. I would say.
That's a good point. How would you feel if a particular book that you want in the library had been banned?
I mean, like Huckleberry Finn or something like that?
Yeah, at one time that was.
Well, I know they removed Huckleberry Finn from all the school libraries, and Catcher in the Rye and a number of others.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing they have to do is that since kids are free to wander around the shelves, I mean, there has to be a line drawn somewhere. Mm-hmm. And since some parents I'm not a parent, but some parents have strong opinions about what their children should read, it's a tough choice. These are hard questions. I mean, obviously you have to draw the line somewhere. I'd probably draw the line a little farther on the liberal side than other folks would. But it's a hard choice. When my father was a high school teacher, they'd get back books that that were in the high school library that had a few swear words in them, and parents would underline every swear word.
Or do you think, that's another question, do you think children should have access to read everything in the library?
No.
No? And who decides?
Well, that's a hard question. I mean, I've thought about this a lot. What are you going to have, an adult literature room? I mean, you can't put it on the top shelves. I guess mainly kids probably don't go through the shelves. I mean, to find the really offensive stuff, you have to dig.
No. Do you think that we should ban certain books, or do you think that the public should be able to read anything they want to read?
I don't want to do it. Anything I want to do it.
Anything?
Yeah.
Very much against banning books, and I think we have to guard that with great vigilance.
To read or banning of books?
Well, first of all, my opinion is that the books that are want to be banned by other people is they're hard to find. This and other public libraries, I'm not so sure, but I'm almost positive that there are books that this library will not carry, because there is moral and social whatever issues that that provide restraints for this library and other libraries, and I'm glad to see that that you are making an effort to look at it. I suppose there's always the point of where do you draw the line? What books should we show, or what books should we offer to have available? And that's the question. Where do you draw the line, or do you draw the line?
All right. Do you have an opinion, ma'am, regarding banning books, challenging books in libraries, libraries in general?
Well, I spend a good deal of my time in the Missoula Public Library, and I'm really prejudiced in favor of being in libraries and reading everything they've got. No, I don't think you should ban anything. I think, as a matter of fact, you should try to broaden your reading base. I learned this when I took a library course during some of my extracurricular studies, and I found that there are interesting books in every single category, and all you have to do is find them and read them, and you read things that you have never read before. So I feel very strongly about not banning. I think when we think of banning, we think of neighborhoods or communities who are fearful of something.
Well, I'm a writer myself. I'm a poet, and I work in Arts in the Schools programs in 6 states. And as a person who has been asked to leave schools twice because of disapproval of poems that either I have written or I have chosen to use in class, I'm of the opinion that censorship in nearly any form is detrimental to freedom of speech, which is one of the things that America's about. And it's distressing to me to see so much of the world turning to the United States as an example at the same time that there are large groups of people in the United States seeking to ban books by...
I don't like people that choose my books. I've had to do book reports in school where teachers have chosen books for me, and time and time again I've said that I hated the book. Just, I don't know, maybe rebellious, maybe that I wanted my freedom to do it. And having the freedom to pick my own books for my enjoyment, or to increase my knowledge, or anything, it's just good to have. If we didn't, then we would be at a loss.
I don't think any books should be banned from the library, really, because I think everybody should have a right to read whatever they want to read, as long as, I don't know, I feel it's kind of like, I used to be a musician, and people were sometimes saying what you're allowed to say or not, and I kind of relate the two.
Yeah.
I mean, First Amendment, whatever.
Right.
It's like if somebody doesn't like it, nobody's forcing them to read it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think anybody has that right. This is supposed to be a free country. I don't like anybody telling me what I can do, what I can't do. I've earned the right as an adult to do what I want and what I want. Nobody forces anybody to read a book. And kids are going to do what they will read what they want, when they want, and how they want anyway, behind, under, or behind closed doors, under closed doors, or wherever else they're going to do. I don't think it's right. I think they ought to be sent to Siberia, as far as I'm concerned.
Do you feel children should have access to everything in the library?
Children are going to get access to anything they want. And anybody who thinks that they can subdue children's desires to look at something dirty or look at something that's supposed to be off-colored, they're crazy. They know more about things in grade school than I did, than some people do as adults. And kids aren't going to read something that isn't interesting to them.
That's true.
They like the fun stories. They like the romantic stories or adventure or spy thrillers or science thrillers. Mm-hmm. They don't see the dirt until these crusading groups tell them.
Well, no. They might want to know about witches or something, and nobody will ever know about it if all the books are thrown away.
Read what you want?
Oh, we should definitely be able to read anything we want, anytime we want, and we should also be able to get it at our library.
If somebody complained about a book and we withdrew it, and it was a book you wanted, how would you feel?
Cheated.
What kinds of things do you think should be here? What kinds of music and literature?
Everything. Everything. I mean, this is an information place. We can't have it defined as what a certain people like or what people dislike. It has to be everything for everyone.
What do you think about kids? Should kids be restricted in their use of the library?
No.
What should kids get to check out?
Anything they want.
Okay. And who should get to decide if there are restrictions?
Well, the parents should decide. If they don't want the kids to check out the book, they should say, I don't want you to check out this book. It's their responsibility as a parent. Mm-hmm. But if someone just wanted to come in and wanted a book on sexually transmitted diseases or something that, well, some people get really uptight about, but anyone should be able to come in and get anything they want.
I think, I don't think it should be a choice of anybody unless your parents regulate it. But I don't think there should be any law restrictions on the books.
That's wrong.
Why is that wrong?
Because you should be able to read it, and just because the title or whatever doesn't make the inside wrong.
I don't know, there wouldn't be many good books to read.
If people started...
Yeah, it'd be like, Dr. Seuss and stuff, and it's kind of little kids stuff, not very good to read.
Well, I don't have to read them. Other people can if they want.
But you can choose
Yeah.
what you want to read. How do you feel about kids? Should they be able to read in any section they want?
Yeah.
Who should be able to tell them what they can and can't read?
Their parents.
Ooh, look, they're holding a gun at her and they're trying to take her money away. And what happens? Oh, the bone made noises like a lion and like a snake, and they scared the robbers away. See, the bone, the little magic bone inside her purse made those noises.
And look, all the cats went away.
They all ran away. Oh, and then this bad guy came. Who is he?
Fox.
He's trying to trick her, I think. And she made a noise. Then the bone made a noise like an alligator. And he took her bone away. See that? He took her bone away. Oh, she looks scared of him, doesn't she? Oh, he's taking her to his house. And he locked her up. And he's gonna, I think he's gonna cook her for dinner. And I think she's looking very sad. And now he's gonna bring her to the table.
Look.
Oh, who's that?
He shrunk.
How did he shrink? What made him shrink like that?
The bone said magic words.
The bone said magic words, so he shrunk. And then what did she do?
Hi, Bone.
Hi, Bone. She said hi, Bone. Is that the same bone?
I think it is. Yeah.
And so she went home with her bone. And what happened? What happened on the last page? Let's see. Should we read the last page? Oh, look, she's got the bone sleeping by her. Says the bone stayed on and became part of the family. It was given an honored place on a silver tray, and Pearl always took it to bed with her.
Hello.
Hi, how come you like that book? How come you like this book?
Because the monster part.
And how come you like this book? He's not going to tell us. How come you like this book, Allison?
Because I have it at home.
Because you have it at home? Did Mommy read it to you?
She's just practicing.
She's just practicing. Do you like this book, Molly? Why do you like it? You're not going to tell us? Do you want to say something else? Do you think that's a bad book?
Good boy. I already have lots of books at my house already.
Oh.
Are you glad we have that book in the library?
Uh-huh.
How about if we didn't have that book in the library because somebody said we shouldn't own that book?
Do you think they should take that book away?
No.
No. Somebody didn't like this book. You can see the book you're reading is Veronica. And why did you choose that book?
Okay.
Did you like the cover of it? Do you like reading about hippopotamuses? So it looks like a good book to you? And you're glad we have it in the library?
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And this is a struggle that never stops. That's one thing that they always say. I mean, the First Amendment is just an ongoing revolution and process. So it is important to have these reminders.
And then there's the 3, it's the 9th, and then there's the 3. All I can carry is all my Are you sure? Yeah. You don't think you can carry any more? Squirrels, okay. What you need to do is look under these authors' last names here, on these shelves over here. So now alphabetical order.